You want to punch me? Huh? Can you hit me in the face? Would you hit a girl with glasses? Huh? Think you could get one of these? Hey, you know that crack healed, man. That crack healed. My fucking enamel, it grew back. And that crack in my tooth, it's gone now. That's right. I know that's not impossible, right? It's impossible for something like that to happen. It really happened. Page 113. That's right. Resolution by the Pennsylvania Council of Safety making it unlawful not to accept continental currency at face value. December 27th, 1776. Cold reading, y'all. I have no idea what this is going to say. This wasn't a part of what happened there. This is before. On November 13th, 1776, the minutes of the Council of Safety carried a resolution that Messrs. Rittenhouse and others be a committee to draw up a memorial to be presented to the Honorable House of Assembly at their next meeting, setting forth the dangerous consequence that will attend the refusal of the continental currency. On December 27th, the following resolution was inserted in the minutes, pages 70 to 71, 1776, resolved that the Council of Safety of Pennsylvania be requested to take the most vigorous and speedy measures for punishing all such as shall refuse continental currency, and that the General be directed to give all necessary aid to the Council of Safety for carrying their measures on this subject into effectual execution by order of Congress. John Hancock, President. In consequence of the foregoing resolve of Congress and the intelligence received from several parts of this state that the disaffected and enemies to the United States of America are pursuing the most dangerous schemes to destroy the credit of the money issued under the authority of Congress, which wicked and mischievous practices are likely to be attended with the most pernicious consequences, unless immediately suppressed by a speedy and vigorous exertion of the powers invested in this council. Therefore, resolved that if any person or persons from and after the publication of this resolve shall refuse to take continental currency in payment of any debt or contract whatsoever, or for any goods, merchandise, or commodity offered for sale, or shall ask a greater price for any such commodity in continental currency than in any other kind of money or specie, in full proof made thereof before any 3 members of any county committee, or any 3 field officers of militia of this state, the person or persons so offending shall for the first offense be considered as a dangerous member of society, and forfeit the goods offered for sale or bargained for, or debt contracted, to the person to whom the goods were offered for sale, or by whom they were bargained for, or from whom such debt is due, and shall moreover pay a fine of £5 to the state, to be levied immediately by the persons to whom forfeitures are directed to be paid by this resolve, provided such debt or contract do not exceed that sum. But if the debt due or price of such goods bargained for or offered to sale exceed the sum of £5, then the person offending as aforesaid shall, besides the debt due, goods contracted for or offered to sale, forfeit to the full amount of said debt, contract, or price agreed on or demanded 1/3 part of such forfeitures to be for the use of the informer, and remaining 2/3 parts to the use of this state, to be paid to the committee of the county where the forfeiture is incurred, or where no such committee exists, to be 3 field officers of the militia of the nearest battalion, to be by them transmitted to the public treasury of this state, after deducting reasonable costs, such forfeiture to be levied immediately by the direction and authority of the said committee of field officers, and every person so offending shall for the second offense be subject to the aforementioned penalties, and be banished this state to such place and in such manner as this council shall direct. Nevertheless, if any person shall think him or herself aggrieved by the determination of any of the said committees or field officers, he or she shall be allowed an appeal to this council, provided the said appeal be made within 6 weeks after such determination made, and information thereof given by the said committee or field officers to the parties in writing, a regular record of the proceedings in every case to be transmitted to this board in 4 weeks after determination. Resolved that all persons whose shops, stores, or warehouses have been heretofore shut up, and have been restrained from carrying on a commercial intercourse with the inhabitants of this state, for refusing continental currency shall be released from such restraint and permitted to open their shop, stores, or warehouses, and that persons who are in confinement for the same offense be immediately discharged from such confinement, to be subject nevertheless to the penalties described in the foregoing resolution for future offenses. I just less than a few hours ago put my contestation in writing, and I have several times in the preceding years put my contestations in writing. My understanding is there has been no official call to arms or declaration of war or any appeal to the patriots of this country, but rather there has been an effort of infiltration by people whose interests prioritize foreign considerations over the domestic welfare of their own people. And if you are illegally expropriating the property of the people of the United States in order to curry favor with foreign interlocutors or their councils, then that is treason. And even if you did make such a special order, then it is even more contemptuous for you to extricate my good faith effort to engage in the official formal process so that you can do what with it? Because after this, there are several documents as well as testimonial from fine Americans who were rewarded for their patriotism with some very prominent positions, which, by the way, were never repudiated later on when it was determined their service requirements were unconstitutional. That beg to differ with your approach in this manner, and that has held up over time despite your infamy and the infamy of others like you.